Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL, home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Game day is underway. This is the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL, presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting. Here's Hayes Carline.
Good morning. Welcome into the Kickoff Show, the Terminix Kickoff Show. We're super excited to be here. I am Hayes Carline, joined with Dylan Denmark, making it happen here at 1010XL, and we have got a loaded show for you as we get set for one of the biggest games in Week 4 in the league. The Jaguars headed to play the 49ers in San Francisco, and wow, lots to get to today. Some storylines that have popped up late in the week that certainly have made this a spicy matchup today against two teams that don't have much history, and the Jaguars certainly haven't fared well against the 49ers, but we're gonna be covered today with great insights. Frank Frangie is going to join us in our next segment, the voice of the Jaguars, to give us his perspective on this game. We're going to be joined to get the 49ers side of things with the Athletics 49ers writer Vic Tafur. We'll do that around 12:15. And Ryan O'Halloran, sports columnist of the Florida Times-Union, is going to join us in our final segment. He is live in Santa Clara to give us final thoughts on what promises to be a very hyped matchup, because as you look at it, it's 2-1. The Jaguars are 2-1, a bad call away from being 3-0. The Travis Hunter PI in Cincinnati that the league admitted they got wrong against an undefeated 49ers team that has dealt with a lot of injuries, but so far has done what they're supposed to do, which is, beat the opponent in front of you. So lots to get to today. We're also going to go in the locker room. We're going to hear from Robert Hainsey, the Jaguars center. We're going to hear from linebacker Dennis Gardeck. And in our final segment, we will hear from Anton Harrison, the right tackle, and cornerback Tyson Campbell, who obviously had the fantastic punch-out last week to help the Jaguars get past the Houston Texans in a massive win here in Jacksonville. So as we look at it, Dylan, this is one of the best games on the slate. You've got undefeated Tampa hosting undefeated Philly, and then the Colts and the Rams are playing, and the Colts are undefeated, and the Rams are 2-1. But when you look at matchups in Week 4 involving teams with a combined 5 wins, the Jags and 49ers are right there. And, it's kind of interesting that of those 3, 2 involve AFC South teams, because we don't consider that division to be among the strongest in the NFL, but a big day in the division today.
No doubt, and who would have thought that we would be saying that when the Chiefs and Ravens are playing today?
Great
and one
point.
of those teams after today are going to still have 1 win 4 weeks through the season.
That's right, and obviously the Chiefs will be here a week from tomorrow for a huge Monday night tilt, so that'll be a lot of fun. So lots to get to today, but we're going to start with a storyline that I think is above everything else. It's sort of where the Jaguars hope to go, which is what Kyle Shanahan has done in San Francisco. And basically, here's all you need to know about Kyle Shanahan with the 49ers. When they're healthy, they go to the Super Bowl. When they're not healthy, they don't. And certainly they've got a lot of injuries that we will discuss. But this is a big opportunity for Liam Cohen going into his 4th game as head coach. This would be, look, it's one thing to beat Dave Canales in Week 1, the Carolina Panthers coach. It's one thing to beat DeMeco Ryans, who's done a good job in Houston. He's won 2 divisional titles in 2 years, but still a younger coach. To go and beat Kyle Shanahan on the West Coast would be massive for Liam Cohen as he starts to build his reputation around the league. He talked earlier this week about the challenges facing a Kyle Shanahan team.
Yeah, very well coached in all 3 phases. Offensively, very detailed, the wide zone, mix it with some gap and perimeter, and then just the illusion of the run with the formations and the keepers, the boots and the play pass is all pretty clean. They've done a nice job. I have a ton of respect for Kyle, obviously offensively, but also as a coach and what he's been able to do there in San Fran, playing against those guys for so long, being in LA. So defensively, they fly around. There's a huge clear distinction in terms of the way that they play, very similar to the defense we just played, in the way that they attack, the way that they run to the football, the way that Fred tries to take the ball away, right? And then on special teams, very well coached. Brant Boyer's been an NFL special teams coach for a long time. And you can see that the way that they play on teams, very similar to the way that they play on defense, and very similar to the way that they try to run the ball and impose their will physically on offense. So a lot of respect.
A lot of respect. That was Wednesday. And then the matchup started to get spicy. And that began on Thursday when 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh got to the podium and basically unsolicited, when asked about not having Nick Bosa, the star pass rusher who tore his ACL, ventured into this comment.
You know, Liam and his staff, coming from a couple of guys coming from Minnesota, you know, they've got a really advanced signal stealing type system where they always find a way to put themselves in an advantageous situation. They do a great job with it. They formation you to try to find any nugget they can. So we've got to be great with our signals, and we got to be great with our communication, and to combat some of the tells that we might give on the field. So they're almost elite in that regard.
Saleh double and triple downed on that comment. He was asked a couple of follow-ups, and basically he did say each time, this is legal what they're doing, but it is sign stealing. And so now we go to Friday. Liam Cohen hosts his final press conference of the week. Didn't want to get into Saleh's comments, but he was asked, just in a general sense, isn't identifying tells part of coaching?
By formation, by game plan, by working really hard as a coaching staff throughout the week, trying to get indicators by your formation, motion, shift, pre-snap. Those are the things that you're trying to do as a coach. If you're, trying to put your players in the best position to be successful, whether it's attacking man or zone coverage with your formations, motions, and concepts. So it's a lot of hard work that goes into game planning and trying to put your players in the best position to be successful.
So then we get to later Friday when Kyle Shanahan conducts his final press conference of the week. And Shanahan doubled down on Saleh's ultimate backhanded compliment. This was Kyle Shanahan talking about the sign stealing.
Yeah, I think it's very common. I think he was trying to give him a compliment. I think when the word sign stealing is used in a long compliment, that can sometimes go the wrong way. But I think he was just really good. They're good at what they do. Everyone tries to do that to a degree, so they're good at it. And I think he's more just letting them know that we know.
How good are you at it?
We don't need to do that. We truly believe in being fair in every aspect.
I mean, this is just stunning to me. Stunning to me that you can't have it both ways. It can't be legal and something that the Jaguars are elite at, and you're paying them a compliment, and then say, but we don't do that because we believe in being fair. I think a massive storyline to this game. I think it is going to make what really isn't a rivalry at all incredibly intense. The 49ers have won 5 straight in the series. I mean, that's not a surprise. The Jaguars haven't beaten them in 20 years. And obviously, the biggest intangible going against the Jaguars in this game is the trip to the West Coast, where historically they have really struggled. But this is a new administration. I'm interested in seeing how they handle it. Liam Cohen talked about the challenge of the long trip.
I mean, not personally, but, I think it's just about, okay, we're obviously got a 5-hour flight. We're trying to keep these guys in their East Coast rhythm and routine as much as possible. So we are kind of tailoring the schedule to that so that we won't, maybe feel those effects as much. I think if you're going out to play, obviously, an organization and a team as competitive as San Fran is, I think I'm very hopeful that these guys will be up for this. It's more just about managing the 5-hour flight, the hydration, the sleep, and making sure that these guys are getting into the mindset for a business trip that it is. So not concerned, but just definitely something we've had to be a little bit aware of with our scheduling and our planning for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. And really the biggest, I think, in terms of execution, and we'll talk about this throughout the show, but The biggest thing on the field today for the Jaguars is, fellas, you got to catch the ball when it hits you in the hands. The drops have been a real issue through the first 3 games, and it started with Brian Thomas Jr., and it's still you still don't feel great about where BTJ is, but Parker Washington had multiple drops last week. Etienne had a drop coming out of the backfield. That's got to get cleaned up. So what is Liam Cohen doing to try and correct the problem?
No, not quite. I think one thing I mentioned the other day was just we've got to attack the ball more, I think, with our hands instead of letting it maybe get into the body at times. We always talk about not trying to let the ball cross our eyes. So if it's an in-breaker or even an out-breaker, trying not to let it cross you this way at all. There's a difference between the ball being, here and going and getting it there. That's just kind of the way that's how we're trying to coach it. And every rep in walkthrough that we have when we're not throwing the football, those guys have been getting all last week a catch. So they're jogging back from a run play and they're getting a ball. So we're trying to do as much as we can in order to just confidence, just continuing to build confidence that we can go out and make those plays. We need to go out and make those plays for our offense to be able to go and go where it needs to go.
Without a doubt, they've got to catch the football today consistently if they're going to win this game. And the Jaguars do appear to be catching the 49ers at a good time from an attrition standpoint. The 49ers do not have superstar tight end George Kittle. He got injured in week 1. He's on injured reserve. Star pass rusher Nick Bosa tore his ACL last week, so he is out, obviously. And receiver Brandon Ayuk is yet to play this year as he recovers from a knee injury. So, and the 49ers have some guys that are going to play but are banged up. Starts at quarterback. Brock Purdy's been dealing with a foot, missed the last 2 games. He's trying to play through that. Keep in mind, San Francisco plays the LA Rams Thursday night. So they're getting ready to have a short week against probably their top rival in the NFC West in terms of winning that division. So something to bear in mind. The Jaguars, obviously, they'll play today. Then they actually have an extra long week because then they host Kansas City Monday night. So something to keep in mind with Brock Purdy, and we'll ask Vic Tafur this if he believes Kyle Shanahan will try to limit Brock Purdy moving around as much as he can, because as we know, that toe injury can certainly be re-aggravated. So lots to get to in this game. It should be a wonderful contest and a big opportunity for the Jaguars. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to go to San Francisco, Santa Clara, and we're going to catch up with voice of the Jaguars, Frank Frangie, host of the Frangie Show. You are listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
It's the way the game was meant to be heard. Raw, real, and right in your ear.
Right side coming! Touchdown! Yeah!
Feel the energy on 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Carolina Jags in historic Riverside has been named Best Burger in Jacksonville for 5 years in a row. They serve fresh, certified Angus beef smash burgers on locally baked buns with Florida fresh produce. Try favorites like the Riverside or a bacon cheddar. They have weekday lunch specials from 11 to 2 and open Sundays for pregame or postgame. Carolina Jags is where it's at.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Ballard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. While we've earned the reputation as North Florida and South Georgia's preeminent official Rolex jeweler, it's important to point out that at Underwoods we carry other watches too. We start with Seiko, the most reliable, serviceable watch made for under $500. And they've started making jeweled, self-winding watches again and sports watches you'd have to see to believe. Next, we have Tavan, the Swiss-made ladies and men's and dress and sport watches, and they start at $575. Another name we carry is Tudor, inspired by Rolex with the same founder and owner, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And their sport watches and chronographs are the rage in Swiss timekeeping, with new in-house watch movements and exciting new model introductions every year. So if you're interested in watches, we have what you want at Underwoods, and all of our watches carry a 5-year warranty. At Underwoods, in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush, it's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn-out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Frank Frangie, voice of the Jaguars, kind enough to join us from Santa Clara. Frank, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning, Hayes, and it's going great here. Beautiful weather here in the in NoCal, as they call it. It's going to be about 70 degrees tops today, maybe 68. It was beautiful here last night. I think the rain is burned off, so it's going to be a sunny day. Can't wait for football.
Absolutely. The Jaguars have struggled going to the West Coast, and you've been on a lot of these trips, obviously, as the voice of the team. Any vibes that you picked up on, good or bad, in terms of the team getting over there and getting acclimated?
No, I think the sounds you played earlier from Liam, I think they're trying to stay on their East Coast clock. They're treating this like a 4 o'clock game. They're treating it like a 4 o'clock game on the East Coast. Their bed check last night was probably around 9 o'clock, which is the equivalent of midnight. So they're trying to treat it like they never left. Don't look at your clock. It's just a normal 4 o'clock game. So, no, I think they're in a good place. And look, a lot of the times when the Jags have struggled on the West Coast, they've come out here and played good teams.
Right.
You know, the 49ers are a good team. The Rams are a good team. I was out here when they played the Raiders the last game in Oakland Alameda Coliseum, and they won the game because Oakland wasn't a good team. You know, so people make a lot of the struggles on the West Coast. I think a lot of that, in my mind, Hayes, is because the Jags have been a struggling team, and they've come out here and played very good teams.
Yeah, without a doubt. In regards to that, the Jaguars may be a good team now under Liam Cohen's guidance. They're 2-1. The 49ers are 3-0. So, Frank, this is one of the biggest games in Week 4 this week. We have an undefeated Tampa Bay hosting undefeated Philly, and then the Colts and Rams are a combined 5-1 like this matchup. But it's one of the bigger matchups in the league this week. How big do you think this is in terms of this game for the fledgling Jaguar new vision of football?
Well, that's the thing, is everyone wants to see – we've had a lot of new regimes around here, Hayes, and we always want to see, is the new regime the right regime? Well, there's a lot of excitement around this one with Tony and James and Liam for obvious reasons. Well, this is one that puts you on the map. This one makes you relevant. The world doesn't end if you don't win it, but because it's a good undefeated team you're playing who's getting their quarterback back. But if you win this game, now everybody notices. Now everybody, not just us in Jacksonville, but everybody notices. You said it at the top of the program today. This would be Liam Cohen coming on the West Coast and beating Kyle Shanahan. Everybody would notice that. You get to 3-1 in this league at what used to be called the quarter turn when there were 16 games. Everybody notices. So this is a relevance game. This is a we've arrived game if the Jags find a way to win this game today in Santa Clara.
There really didn't seem to be a lot of spice in this matchup. I mean, why would there be? They rarely play. The 49ers have had a tremendous amount of tradition and success. The Jaguars have not. Until we got to Thursday and the comments of 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, which then led to Liam Cohen on Friday sort of saying, I'm not going there, but talking in general about that, you know, identifying tells as part of coaching. And then Kyle Shanahan really got it going on Friday, basically saying that they do a great job. Robert was trying to compliment them, but you probably shouldn't, you know, maybe saying sign stealing, you know, rubs people the wrong way. But, oh, by the way, we don't do it because we play fair. I think it's really added some spice to this matchup.
Here's what I really think. It's a great media story. It's been fun. Look, in the media, we go to every one of these press conferences these guys have. We quote them every time. Every time they say the sun came up, and that's our job. You know, we're supposed to do that. That's what the media does. And we desperately look for a story like this because they don't have very many of them. So when we have these, we grab on and we ask follow-ups and we ask the next guy and we ask the next guy. My experience has been, Hayes, doesn't affect the game very much. What affects the game is what you said. Can they come to the West Coast? Can they keep on their timeline? You're playing a really good team. Your quarterback's back. You both have your quarterbacks. In my opinion, they're fun. I love the stories. We love the stories. They're fun stories. He said we're cheating. Well, he didn't really say cheating. We don't have to cheat. They're great media stories. My experience has been they have very little effect on the football game. What has an effect on the football game is who plays well. My guess is, now, does that mean Liam won't use it or the two coaches won't use it for a little bit of motivation? Oh, sure, you grab it if you can, but I don't think there's much to it. I think it's a fun media story that I'm guessing the players and the coaches haven't thought a whole lot about. Now, I thought a way bigger story was last week when everybody on the Jaguar roster remembered the cheap shot that the middle linebacker took at their quarterback to knock him out for the year. Now, that's real, okay, because that's players being pissed at players and players not forgetting. This one, I think, it's a fun little media story. I don't think it'll have much effect on the game.
Let's get into something that certainly could, and that's the drops issue that the Jaguars' offense is having. Do you think they are able to come out of that today?
I hope so, because that's a major story. That is the story. That's on the field. And, Hayes, I got to tell you, I hope so. But I was watching the college games yesterday. You did too. I'm watching the Georgia. I think Alabama had this bomb, and the guy dropped it, right? Ryan Williams dropped it. And then Georgia has a bomb later, and the guy drops it. Does it seem like there's more of that?
It does.
Everywhere people are dropping passes. But no, that's a major
the Florida
story.
Gators don't do that. But
yeah, no, they don't. No, because they don't throw them. Okay, it's hard to drop one behind the line of scrimmage. Correct. But I think that's a major storyline. Brian Thomas Jr. has to get out of his funk a little bit. Parker Washington, who's sure-handed, can't drop passes because the more you do it, the more it gets in your head. You're like a golfer. The more 3-foot putts you miss, the more you start grinding and pressing, and then you miss more 3-foot putts because it's in your head that you missed a 3-foot putt. So, yes, I think a major storyline today is will the Jags catch the football? and not drop the football. I think it's a major, major storyline. And I don't, to your question, will they come out of it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think you're going to know that till they play. I really don't.
Do you think they'll have De'Ami Brown today?
My guess would be not, because I saw where they elevated Austin Trammell, and I don't think they would have elevated him if they thought they were having De'Ami. I don't know that yet. I think he's traveled, so I think he's here. I think he is, but I don't know. I don't think they'll announce that. That might be one of those, Hayes, that you don't know till he gets out and stretches his shoulders, and he might even warm up. And again, I'm talking out of turn. I don't want to make it sound like I know all that, because that's not inside information. I do think he's here. But when you elevate Austin Trammell, that at least says you're concerned you might not have him. So if you ask me to guess, I'm going to guess he's not going to play. But that's a guess. That's not inside information that anybody's
Oh, sure, yeah. We won't know for sure for another few hours and when the inactives come out. Travis Hunter, boy, it feels like he's close to the kind of game where the nation is talking about Travis Hunter in a positive fashion. And because of the spotlight on this game, it would certainly do wonders if he's able to do that. Where do you see Travis Hunter's game right now on both sides of the ball, and what kind of an impact do you think he'll make today?
Well, I got to tell you this, and I don't know when this happened, but Brian Thomas Jr. is dropping passes. I hope he comes out of that. De'Ami Brown may or may not play. Parker Washington dropped 2 passes last week. The one catch on the sideline Travis Hunter made, he made one of the most beautiful moves we've seen all year. We spun in, spun out, played the guy out, made the guy miss downfield. Just if you follow that evidence, at some point it's time to start directing balls to number 12. You know, and I don't mean that doesn't mean you're giving up on anybody else, but at some point this week, next week, one of these weeks, my guess is Liam Cohen's going to say, okay, let's see what we got with this guy. Wide receiver screens, reverses, jet sweeps, deep balls. I have no idea, but I would think at some point, if I've got Travis Hunter in one of those, you're in 37 fantasy leagues, I think, someone at 37, 38, you're telling me?
Not quite, but yeah.
I think this would be a day I would guess, you know, or if not this week, next week. And one of these weeks, I guess, be a pretty good week to have Travis Hunter. That'd be my guess. So we'll see if it plays out that way. But my guess is at some point you're going to see a lot more from number 12. Not because Prime said so, by the way, just because at some point it's going to be time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. Well, Frank, we certainly appreciate it. Have a wonderful call. We'll certainly be listening and look forward to seeing you on Monday.
All right, hey, thanks, buddy. Take care.
All right, that's Frank Frangie, voice of the Jaguars, kind enough to join us. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to go inside the locker room. Let's hear from Jaguar center and captain Robert Hainsey, as well as linebacker Dennis Gardeck, who's really made a big-time defensive impact. The first-year Jaguar, the free agent addition from the Arizona Cardinals, a player to watch out for today. He's very familiar with the 49ers from playing in that division for several years. So that's coming up. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the edge of your radio to the edge of your seat. Showtime! Feel the excitement of live play-by-play.
And this place is rocking right now.
On 1010XL.
Yo, E.T. here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks. Scratch kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge. Come on, somebody.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K. October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Get the real story from people who know the beautiful game best. The Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks with Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacy Ballum. Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
The Terminix Kickoff Show,
Presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline here with Dylan Denmark. We're going to go inside the locker room. Had a chance to catch up with a player that I think's really made a big impact. Is a first-year Jaguar on the offensive side. Robert Hainsey, the Jaguar center. It started to get noticeable that Robert Hainsey had really sort of taken over the room in a good way. The room needed it. In previous years, they just haven't had a lot of leadership along that offensive line. Doesn't mean they had bad guys. Mitch Morris, Brandon Sheriff, good guys, but I think they were at a stage in their career where they were like, look, we'll lead by example, but we're not rah-rah guys, at this point. Robert Hainsey, I think, has been able to come in and sort of, I think, mold the identity of the room and create accountability among the players that's been really beneficial for this offensive line. Again, the Jaguars, fourth in the league in rushing at 141.7 yards per game, and they're second in the league in sack percentage allowed. So the offensive line doing a great job. I mean, that's elite in both categories. If you're fourth in the NFL in rushing and you're second in the NFL in sacks allowed percentage-wise, the offensive line deserves a ton of credit for that. And Robert Hainsey also, remember, he was the one that went to Liam Cohen before that first preseason game and said, hey, what are you thinking? Are we going to play or not? And Liam was like, well, I'm still wrestling with it. And Hainsey was the one that was like, well, I think we should play. I mean, Liam shared the story with us. So I think his presence has been a big boost for the Jaguars and his performance as well. And it was a good contract by James Gladstone. His cap number, Hainsey's cap number, is just like $3.7 million this year. So a really good signing there by James Gladstone, and certainly Robert Hainsey is doing wonderful things. The franchise quarterback talked about Robert Hainsey earlier this week. This was Trevor Lawrence talking about the communication that he has between himself and the center.
Our communication is so important to just the way the offense goes, and he's a guy that's been in the system before, so I leaned on him a lot, especially early on. But even now, like just our meetings throughout the week, stuff we talk about, just preparing for, the game, whether it's the run game stuff or protection, we're really in sync, and I think that shows in how we communicate and operate as far as, a unit up front, whether it's run game or protection stuff. I think we've been done a solid job with all that stuff. So, he leads the charge up there. He does a great job, and guy that just does things the right way. Comes to work every day, works hard, makes sure that room is all communicating. I think he's done a good job of leading the room and just making sure that they're all on the same page. And if there's any, things that are unclear with the plan, he's always a guy that voices it and, gets answers. He's done a really great job for us.
Robert Hainsey has certainly been critical to the success so far of this Jaguars offense. He'll need to obviously continue that today in a difficult matchup at San Francisco. This was my interview with Robert Hainsey from earlier this week in the Jaguars locker room. All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguar center Robert Hainsey on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. What a start to the season. You guys are running the ball great, protecting great. What's been standing out to you, Robert?
I think just our process has been solid. I think we're continually trying to get better at things. No matter where you're at, and every team in the league has things they're working on right now. Every player has things they're working on. Just sticking to that process, trying to improve those little things that will add up over time.
Liam was telling us last year in Tampa when he was coordinator, it took a while for it to click. It seems like you guys are ahead of schedule in terms of that. Are you happy with the progress that you guys have made as a unit overall?
Yeah, definitely happy with the progress. Last year was interesting because we started 3-1, went to the bye at 4-6. So obviously a hard stretch. You never know when that adversity is going to come. And the things that what's going to get you through that is the type of people you have and the culture you have, because every team's going to face some at some point or another. And for instance, last year, go 1-5 over 6 weeks. I mean, that's hard. That's hard to really stay together. And whatever that adversity looks like, whatever it may be, this team is being built to stay together and to lean on each other. That's going to be incredibly important down the stretch as we continue to grow and get better.
How much does it help you that you guys went against the 49ers last season? I know Liam said today, we scored 20 points, but we were down. Mike didn't play. Godwin didn't play. The receivers were really limited. But how much, from your perspective, does it help that, I know it's a new coordinator in Saleh, but does it help at all that you at least, saw kind of how Liam attacked them last year?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I've played this team. I feel like I've played the 49ers a bunch of years. I played them in 22, maybe again in 23, and then we played them last year. So I'm familiar with their style, and then also coming off playing the Texans, it's very similar. So it's kind of nice to have these games back to back, to be able to look at that film and see how are we going to adjust this week going into it.
Are you happy with how the unit is gelled so far? Offensive line?
Yeah, I think as offensive line we're really close. We have a really good group of guys who everyone cares a lot, care about the product, care about each other, want to play for each other and the rest of the team. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know this group and grow together.
You've obviously been a huge addition, not just from your play, but from a leadership standpoint. What did it mean to you to be a captain?
That's a tremendous honor. Honestly, I felt that way. I was voted captain at Notre Dame, and that was one of the best honors of my life, and this is up there with that, if not above it, because to be able to come here after my last 4 years, and I've had ups and downs, and just Liam and Tony and James give me the opportunity to come in here and just be myself, to have that ability, and to just be with this group of guys, see how we can grow together, and for them to put their trust in me to lead them, that means a ton.
There's been so many great individual success stories so far on that offensive line. Anton Harrison really seems like he's found a groove. What are you seeing out of that young man?
I think Anton's done really well. I think he's continuing to grow. I think he's an unbelievably talented player, and his knowledge of the game is very high. Honestly, being in this offense last year previously, I was interested to see how everyone kind of adapted to it, because I got lucky. I got to stay in the same system, which was great for me, and I think I was able to help guys too come along and learning it. So everyone, there's a lot of nuances to this offense, and everyone has their different processes. So seeing all the guys, not just Anton, but kind of make it their own, has been really cool.
In terms of Fred Warner, what stands out when you watch him on film, and is he a guy that you've got to identify, pretty much immediately to kind of figure out what they're trying to do with him?
What stands out for sure is just his ability. I mean, his effort and his talent. It's better than most, if not number one. The way he flies around, his speed, and the way he tracks the ball from side to side, he wants to see where the ball's going. He's not flying downhill as much as these guys we played last week. He's keeping things in front of him, and he has the ability to do that. So it's not so much of where is he at, but when he's part of our responsibility, it's making sure we're on him.
How exciting is it? This is a game that the league's paying attention to. I mean, in 2-1 versus 3-0, how exciting is it early in the build to be playing a game of this magnitude? I get it. It's AFC versus NFC, and it doesn't affect the tiebreakers as much. But in terms of winning records, it's a big game.
Certainly. I think it kind of goes back to what I said last week. You guys asked about playing the Texans division game and stuff, and they're all so important. It's nothing changes on what we do. It's how can we improve? How are we going to attack these guys? How are we going to go in there and get the win, no matter what? It's really continuing to put yourself in opportunities to play in games like this, where people are talking about that. That's great, because you want to be in a spot where people are like, hey, we got the Jags coming to town. To us, doesn't really matter, Yeah.
Robert Hainsey, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate Robert's time, and he's been a big piece to this. Let's flip it to the other side of the ball, and I tell you what, I've been really impressed with linebacker Dennis Gardeck. Obviously, Foye Oluokun, you know what you have there. You have a pros pro, master communicator. Foye starting to make some real big plays as well to go along with that, as he's been one of the most effective, efficient tacklers in the NFL for several years now. And Devin Lloyd is played fantastic. We obviously talked to Devin last week, just playing at an incredibly high level as well. But Dennis Gardeck, that third linebacker, he's somebody to watch today. I think he's a big X factor because he had all those years in Arizona. So he is very familiar with what the 49ers want to do, what Kyle Shanahan's schemes, going against Christian McCaffrey, all the variety of weapons that the 49ers have at their disposal offensively. I think Dennis Gardeck is somebody to watch today. He's been making tackles behind the line. He's been deflecting passes, and I think he's really done a nice job as well as a signee that didn't get a lot of attention. I mean, his cap number is about $1.7 million, so another very savvy free agent addition from James Gladstone and his staff. This was my interview with Dennis Gardeck earlier in the week. All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguars linebacker Dennis Gardeck here on 92.5 1010XL. Man, it's great to meet you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just finished a fast Friday. Everything went well. Communication was at a high level.
How high does the communication level need to be against this team in a Shanahan offense?
At its highest. Shifts, motions, this and that, and to be on the details isn't enough because now it's a fight. So you get yourself aligned, ready to go. It's going to be a shift or motion. You got your second call ready. And then when balls snap, it's a fight.
You've obviously seen this system a lot from your days in the NFL, Dennis. What stands out? What can you tell your teammates that maybe aren't as familiar with going up against Kyle Shanahan?
It would be that same message of to be on the details isn't enough. To be on the details is just to get you in position. From there, it's taking the fight to them, and it's a different team when you play it with anticipation versus trying to play catch-up post-snap.
They're missing Kittle, obviously, but they still are very active in terms of what they do with the tight ends. How does that change your approach to facing them?
Approach does not change at all. I respect every pro out there. 85 is a huge piece for them, absolutely, but just being the guy that's been a next man up mentality, I'm not discounting anything from 88 or 89.
Sure thing. And in terms of Christian McCaffrey, very active, obviously, as a receiver as well. How well do they do the job of getting him the ball in space?
They do a real good job of getting him the ball and getting people out of position and trying to steal your eyes or trying to hide where he's at, whatever. It's just you got to keep eyes on 23.
What's it been like so far playing with this group?
It's been a lot of fun. I said it the other day, there's just such a high standard on defense that to go out there and take the field with them, you just want to contribute and do your 1/11th because we are moving at such a high clip. Everybody's playing together. We're playing for each other, which is a lot of fun.
In terms of Foye, what does he bring to the room?
I don't think there's anything he doesn't bring to the room. He brings the energy, his veteran leadership, communication, bringing guys along, helping teach the younger guys. I'm learning from them. There's just, honestly, I look at both of our inside guys, and I don't see a weakness.
Yeah, Devin's been playing great as well. What stands out on film with Devin's effort?
Again, just another complete player. Like he's got the athleticism to get to wherever he needs to on the field. You see that by the interception in Cincy. Also in that same play, you see the intelligence, the anticipation, the film study. It's just you can feel the amount of work that these two have put in, and it's just awesome to be around. It raises my level. I think it raises the level of the defense because they're operating at such a high clip that anything below that kind of sticks out.
In terms of your play, some tackles behind the line, some pass breakups, how do you feel like it's going for you?
Yeah, same thing. Just trying to do my 1/11, trying to keep the high standard, everything going on my tips and reminders, and trying to communicate. Just do my 1/11. Yeah.
How much fun is it that the Jaguars haven't had a lot of success lately, but you're 2-1 playing a team that's 3-0, and this is a game that the league will certainly be paying attention to. Are you encouraged by the fact that you guys have made such great strides so soon in the Liam Cohen era?
Yeah, it's awesome to be where we're at right now. I don't think anybody thinks the hay is in the barn or that the season is made. I think everybody's continuing to chip away. To be great late in the year is what you really want. So to keep climbing and keep leveling up our game, continuing to learn how to play with each other, to be on the details, to find the nuance within the calls, is how we'll continue to grow and be what we want to.
Dennis Gardeck, great talking with you. Best of luck Sunday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate Dennis's time on a Friday and a lot of good insights there in terms of the challenges that the Jaguar defense will face today. Dylan, I think as we get to it, a big storyline in this game is health. So let's fire up the Farah and Farah injury report.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The biggest one going into today for the Jaguars is the status of receiver Dyami Brown. Frankly, it seemed like a long shot that he'd be able to play earlier in the week. Dyami was able to practice in limited fashion Thursday and Friday, and the fact that he made the trip with the shoulder injury, that's encouraging. If they obviously think he's got a chance. You would not put him through that trip there and back if you did not believe he was going to play. And I don't think there's enough gamesmanship there where you would take him and then knowing full well he isn't going to be able to play just to have the 49ers have to prepare for him up until kickoff. So it'll be interesting to see from the reporters that are there in Santa Clara what Dyami Brown does in pregame. But that's a big one for the Jaguars, obviously, because of his ability to stretch the field, and he's been great on the fourth and third down conversions, the short runs that he's had. So Dyami Brown, a big piece. He's the one that we'll really be focusing in on when we get the Jaguars inactive list. Linebacker Yasir Abdullah was ruled out yesterday with a hamstring injury that was sustained in Friday's practice. So the Jaguars will not have Yasir Abdullah today. They also will not have rookie offensive lineman Wyatt Milam, who continues to recover from the knee injury. Again, he should be getting pretty close. He's been able to practice somewhat the last 2-3 weeks. So probably just wanting to give him a little bit more time. The Jaguars, fortunately, haven't had a lot of attrition on the offensive line yet, so you can probably take your time with Wyatt Milam, but he is out today, will not play. On the 49ers side of things, they don't have anybody of consequence that has been ruled out, but they do have a number of players that we need to talk about that are either questionable or out in terms of IR. And let's start with the guys that are on injured reserve. Tight end George Kittle is arguably the best in the league right now. Travis Kelce has started to kind of take a step back in Kansas City. He's obviously one of the best to ever do it. But George Kittle has really become arguably the best tight end in the NFL. He got injured in week 1. He is on injured reserve. So the 49ers have been playing without him for a couple of games, but not having him out there is obviously a tremendous benefit for the Jaguars. Nick Bosa, San Francisco star pass rusher, tore his ACL last week. He is out. That is a crippling blow. Again, we're going to talk to the Athletics 49ers writer Vic Tafur at 12:15 and get Vic's thoughts on what that means for the 49ers defense. But obviously, we know it's a massive loss. And Brandon Ayuk, the receiver, hasn't played all season as he recovers from a knee injury sustained last year. So that's 3 high-level players that are not going to play. Then you get into the players that we believe will play but are dealing with ailments. Brock Purdy does not carry an injury designation. He will start at quarterback, but he's missed the last 2 games with a toe injury. Again, the 49ers play the Rams Thursday night. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see if there's any guardrails on how Shanahan deploys Purdy today from those rollouts and his ability to scramble, things like that, because he has an injury that absolutely can be re-aggravated, and you play a big game Thursday on a short week. Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, 2 talented receivers for the 49ers. They're playing through things, but it seems like the expectation is that they will be active today, but probably not 100%. So a lot of attrition factoring into this game, and it appears to be leaning heavily towards the Jaguars side of things, particularly if De'Ami Brown is able to get out there and give it a go for the Jaguars. Dylan, let's talk about the AFC South slate beyond this game, because there is a big one in L.A. today, undefeated Indianapolis going to the L.A. Rams. I think this is a gigantic game for the Colts. It's almost a house money game. If they're able to win this, it's like, well, it's hard to say at 4-0 they're not legit. I know they kind of got lucky with the Denver win on the field goal leverage penalty, but that is a big one. And if you're the Rams have already done you a big favor. If you're the Jaguars beating the Texans in week 1, they could do another big favor if they're able to send the Colts to their first loss.
Without a doubt. And the Rams, Devontae Adams was a little banged up, I think, with a hamstring injury. He was questionable for today's game. He was limited on Friday. I think they expect him to go, and Higbee, the tight end, as well. You would hope for, the Jags' sake, for those guys to be able to go and not just be able to key in on one player in Puka Nacua, who's been tearing it up, having 100 yards a game his first 3 games of the season. Hasn't got a touchdown yet. You would expect him to get one sooner rather than later. This Rams team's pretty good. We expect them, or I expected them to make the playoffs. And I think the Rams will win this game, but I think it's gonna be a close one tonight.
I do too. Yeah, I think your read on it is the correct one. The other game involving AFC South teams is a matchup of teams looking for their first win, which is a bit surprising on one side and not so surprising on the other. But the Tennessee Titans travel to Houston to take on the Texans today. Boy, I think Houston's done. They're definitely finished if they lose today. I don't think they'll lose today, but this is a massive game for the Houston Texans if they're going to try at 0-3 to get back in this race.
Yeah, it's weird to say, but I still think at 0-3 in this division, even though the Colts are what they are and the Jags are feeling pretty good about themselves right now, I think the Texans still have a chance to squeak into the playoffs. But a loss today is going to erase all of that. And I think this is going to be another game where it's going to be a defensive, low-scoring game like the Texans have played all year long. I mean, every opponent they've played, I don't think they've given up more than, 21 points?
Yeah, the winner today could easily have 13 points.
Right.
I don't think anybody would be surprised.
No, not at all. So, I mean, you're looking at another final score of like 17-13 or, a 14-10 kind of game.
Absolutely, and Sunday's slate is underway. We're going to give you an update in Dublin. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now cruising past the Minnesota Vikings, up 21-6 with 14 minutes left in the game. Dylan, boy, it seems like the Steelers have just been all over Vikings quarterback Carson Wentz.
Yeah, defensively, the line's doing a good job of getting pressure on Carson Wentz, forcing a couple fumbles, getting a couple of interceptions that are confusing the offensive line, showing blitz and then backing off and then someone else coming free. The Vikings have drove the ball down the field a couple of times, but just can't get in the end zone as the Steelers are up 21-6 and the Steelers at 2nd and 2 right now, start of the fourth quarter just outside the red zone.
Yeah, it looks like they're in position to put them away. DK Metcalf with a big 80-yard touchdown in the first half. He has 4 catches for 122 yards, at least last I checked. So a big game for DK Metcalf. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to get into the keys of the game as we get into our second hour. We're also going to hear from the Athletics 49ers writer Vic Tafur, who's going to give us the San Francisco side of this matchup. We'll do that at 12:15, and then we will close the show. We'll go back into the locker room. You'll hear from right tackle Anton Harrison, who's playing at an elite level, and we'll also catch up with cornerback Tyson Campbell, who obviously had the big forced fumble in last week's win over Houston when it looked like the Texans were getting ready to steal one in Jacksonville. So lots coming up. Ryan O'Halloran, the Florida Times-Union sports columnist, is going to join us. Ryan is live in Santa Clara as well. So lots to get to in our final hour. You are listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Take that game with you.
What a turn of events!
Radio play-by-play is where you are. 1010XL.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do.
Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you.
We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore.
With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters.
And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com. This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL. Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the keys to the game. Brought to you by Instant Keys, fast, professional, honest locksmith service.
All right, welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. I am Hayes Carline, joined with Dylan Denmark. And Dylan, the first one that I think we got to get to is third down. There is a big discrepancy here. The Jaguars are doing some really good things. We've talked about it. 4th in the NFL in rushing, 2nd in the NFL in sacks allowed percentage. We know they're leading the NFL in takeaways with 9. But third down hasn't been so great. The Jaguars are 23rd in the NFL third down offensively, converting 37.5%. Defensively, they're 20th on third down, allowing 40.9%. When you look at San Francisco, for all the injuries they've had, and I think this speaks to the level of coaching that the 49ers have with Kyle Shanahan and his staff. So with all the injuries, they still are tied for 8th on third down offensively, converting at 43.6%, and 7th on third down defensively, allowing 33 1/3. So when you break both those numbers down, the Jaguars are basically -4 on third down conversions. They convert 37.5% of the time. They allow 41%. San Francisco is +10. They convert 43.6% of the time and only allow 33.3%. That is a huge key to who is going to win today's game. This is Liam Cohen talking about the challenge on third down that San Francisco presents on both sides of the ball.
They try to get home with 4, but then they will send some blitzes and play some,
coverage in the back end that is like a little bit more 5-man in coverage, and we'll play some man and get hands-on in man coverage when they do want to rush a little bit more. So huge week for us to improve. Obviously, I thought last week we took a step defensively on third down. This week we got to take the step as a team on third down and really try to win situational football. Yeah, I think if you look offensively, they do a nice job of using their eligibles in the pass game. So if they don't think they're maybe getting a pressure between a certain window, they do a nice job of getting 5 out, maybe having the illusion of a 6-man or a 7-man protection, but then free releasing those guys and putting a little bit more stress on the back end and in the coverage. Obviously if Purdy plays, he can extend on third downs and use his legs as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for the Jaguars. That number can't hold. If it does, the 49ers are going to, in all likelihood, win this game, barring a massive difference in turnover margin or something like that. So third down, very critical today for the Jaguars. They have not been as strong on that down as the 49ers have been. Another element to this game that I think is a big key is offensive patience for Trevor Lawrence. The 49ers under defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, of course, that's the Pete Carroll, Gus Bradley, we're familiar with that scheme here, and they're just going to drop, and they're going to make you go 10 plays, 12 plays down the field and hope that you make a mistake, whether that's a penalty, whether that's you get greedy and go for too much and they're able to force a takeaway, but they're not going to give you a lot of opportunities to hit stuff down the field. So that's going to require tremendous patience from quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who talked about that earlier this week.
They're a pretty simple scheme. They're not trying to really trick anyone, but they've always had a good defense, and this scheme has always been really good and tough to play against because they are so consistent and they're really disciplined. They play most things top down. They fly around sideline to sideline as far as just the D-line and the linebackers. So they make a lot of plays with that front group there. And then on the back end, I think they're really disciplined. They're really smart. So it's just, we'll have some opportunities down the field, but it's really taking that profit every time and being able to check the ball down. And they've made, they've played really well with that scheme of just banking that you're not just going to, take the small gains all the way down the field and put together a 9, 10, 12 play drive and go score. And they're also really good at taking the ball away. So when you do put the ball in harm's way, whether it's a throw or just carrying the ball, they're really good at punching, causing fumbles, all those things. So you can tell it's a really well-coached group. They fly around. So they do a good job.
Another key today is pretty simple. Catch the football when it hits you in the hands. So execution is a big key today for the Jaguars, especially those pass catchers. I think at this point, it's not only a drop. I think now it would add a layer of, it would be demoralizing if they have drops today. It would be whatever rhythm they've been able to build. A drop, I think, is going to take the air out of the sideline because it's been just such a problem. So the Jaguars have got to catch the easy ones. You don't have to go and make one-handed stabs. I mean, if you can make a 50-50 catch, that's great. But the routine ones, you got to make those plays today if you're going to reverse the trend of struggling on the West Coast and beat an undefeated 49ers team. Another thing in terms of, when you look at the keys, Christian McCaffrey is such a big part in this, particularly with Kittle out, with Ayuk out, with Pearsall and Jennings trying to play through things, with Purdy trying to play through the toe. Christian McCaffrey is going to be a massive component to who wins this game. And it's not just the rushing. I mean, he's been catching 10 passes basically every game, doing amazing things as a receiver. And those high completion throws and that yards after catch, that element to this game is going to be critical. Defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile for the Jaguars talked about the challenge of stopping Christian McCaffrey earlier this week.
Just if he was a receiver in general, you say this guy's a really good receiver, and he's a great back. So I think he's as good as there is at that position in terms of catching the ball in the backfield and presenting issues in the pass game. Yeah, he's special.
I'll tell you an underrated key to this game as well. is Trevor Lawrence utilizing his legs, his mobility. We saw it in the win over Houston. He had a great third down conversion run, and we know he has the athleticism to do it. He just really hasn't. It's been a part of his game that he hasn't really unleashed maybe the level that we thought he might coming out of Clemson, but he is starting to find it. I think he's starting to develop some confidence in his ability to do that. This was offensive coordinator Grant Udisky talking about how important it is for Trevor to supplement the run game when he can.
The guys love to see that effort that he put out there, first and foremost, the demeanor and the attitude with which he ran the ball, but also the fact that he took us from a play that might not have been a great play. Maybe they had things covered or things broke down, and he can make something out of nothing. That's an advantage for us, whether it's third down, first quarter, or fourth quarter.
Without a doubt. And if Trevor Lawrence can move the chains a couple times today with his legs, I think that would do wonders for the Jaguars' chances of pulling an upset. The Jaguars are, at last I saw, about a 3.5-point underdog in this game. I think a big key here for the Jaguars as well is handle success. Become comfortable with success. You just got a huge win over Houston. So don't let down. Don't say, well, we're 2-1. We beat Houston. Now we can, sort of lollygag through a trip to the West Coast. Handle success. Get used to winning. And that applies if they get a lead late in this game. The 49ers, that is a logo that carries weight in the NFL. That's more of a college thing. But in the NFL, there are some teams that I think it carries some weight. I think the 49ers are one of those teams. If you are able to build a lead in the fourth quarter, handle the success of that. I think that's going to be really key for this young Jaguars staff and for the players in a young roster. And then Jaguars offensively, you got to worry about Fred Warner. They don't have Nick Bosa, but Fred Warner is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. He is an incredible player, an incredibly smart player. And Liam Cohen talked about the challenge going up against Fred Warner earlier this week.
The athletic ability, obviously, the length, his ability to dissect all the different schemes. He plays with a ton of patience, knowing that he does have the ability to go run, change direction, redirect, dissecting the pass game and making plays in zone coverage. So, yeah, I've competed against Fred for a long time, and, a ton of respect, obviously, for the way that he plays. We've got to make sure we get a hat on him in every possible scenario.
Without a doubt, Fred Warner can wreck the game for the Jaguars, so they've got to limit what he can do today. He's gonna have his numbers because that's just the kind of player he is. But you can't let him just dominate the game. That'll be a big key for the Jaguars as well. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to get it to the other side of things. Let's hear about the 49ers, what they're going through, how big of a game is this for San Francisco. The Athletics 49ers writer Vic Tafur, kind enough to join us. We will do that when we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Turn on your radio. We'll bring the game to you.
Here we go. 4th and a yard.
Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio. 1010XL.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Yo, you already know it's your main man ET, and no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails, served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSfireplaces.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farrah. Now let's go behind enemy lines. Behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline here with Dylan Denmark, and we are pleased to be joined with 49ers writer for The Athletic, senior writer Vic Tafur. Vic does an incredible job covering the NFL, has for many years. I would encourage you to follow him at Vic Tafur. That's VICTAFUR. Vic, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. Obviously, lots to get to. 3-0 matchup versus a 2-1 Jaguars team. Overall, give us sort of the state of the union for the 49ers. They've got to, I would think, be thrilled with a 3-0 record, considering all the attrition they've had to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, a lot of injuries, but they've had three pretty tight wins, and they're 3-0. And then I think they were just really going to feel good about themselves. They lost Nick Bosa, which may be the worst one of all in terms of injuries. So that's a big guy to replace this weekend.
How do you think the 49ers will go about trying to replace Nick Bosa?
Well, they got Bryce Huff, who will have to step up. He's more of a pass rushing guy, but he'll play full-time pretty much now. And I think they have some young guys they're encouraged by, like Alfred Collins in the middle, and they got C.J. West in the middle. And the first-round pick, Mike Williams, has played well. He's more a run stopper at this point, but definitely has some pass rush ability. So those three guys are going to play more this weekend, or Sunday, today. And I think they're hoping those guys take on another step up.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic, in terms of Brock Purdy, he doesn't carry an injury designation after missing the last 2 games with the toe injury. Do you think with it being a short week, you play Thursday against the Rams, is there any thought of he's out there, but maybe you try and limit what he does today, or do you think it'll be all systems go for Brock Purdy?
I think ideally it's all systems go. I think he's probably not 100%. I think his turf toe may still be it's still there somewhere in terms of how it affects him mobility-wise. I think he'll definitely maybe won't be as able to do all he can do in the past, but I think also in this case, their backup, Mac Jones, is also banged up. He has a knee injury from last week, so even if they wanted to play safe, I think it'd give Brock another week. They really didn't have that option, so I think he's ready to go. He's fired up, and he wants to get his team to 4-0.
Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is off to another incredible start, is one of the most balanced players offensively in the NFL. What kind of level is Christian playing at for the 49ers, in your opinion?
It looks good. He definitely is catching the ball a lot. I think the one critique of the one, minus would be that they're not really scoring and have no touchdowns on the ground this year. And the ground game overall is kind of struggling, especially inside. That's their 2 guards, Dominic Pooney and Connor Colby, the rookie who replaced Ben Barch, who got hurt. All 3 of those guys have kind of been not very good, I think, still, to be honest, especially in the red zone. So I think if the Jaguars have a chance today, they'll be inside against that run, stopping them, especially in the red zone.
In terms of the receivers, obviously we're familiar with Ricky Pearsall from his days playing for Florida. But what has he been able to do to develop as a second-year player, and how effective has he been able to become for Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, he's taken a big step, I think, not only in terms of his durability. You mentioned all the injuries, but he's one of the guys who's been out there pretty much the entire game, the first 3 games. And he gets open. He's great across the middle. He definitely has an extra step. I think just good confidence the quarterback's having him now. They have good chemistry, I think, as far as knowing where he'll be, and they're throwing the ball before he gets to the spot on his route. So I think this is a nice maturation for a guy who was a first-round pick and obviously has a lot of talent.
Athletic senior NFL writer Vic Tafur, kind enough to join us. Vic covers the 49ers for The Athletic. Again, you can find him at Vic Tafur on X and Twitter. Vic, in terms of not having George Kittle, how obviously that's a huge loss, but how it's been a couple of games, how has San Francisco been able to try to keep some productivity at that position, not having George Kittle?
Yeah, it's been tough. I think also I talked about the run problems in the red zone. I think George is also a big part of that, and I think they signed Luke Farrell to kind of be the blocking guy, but he hasn't been great so far. I think Jake Tongas has kind of emerged as the main threat with George being out, and I think he's had a huge catch to win a game in Seattle, and he's been fine as far as when they had to throw him the ball, but clearly not the weapon in Georgia as far as, being a guy you can count on and have defenses to worry about. So I think maybe that'll be a sneaky thing today where they can get those guys involved, Jake Tongas and Luke Farrell. Maybe that can surprise the Jags.
What do you think from a Jaguars defensive perspective? What do you think worries Shanahan and company the most?
Just the pressure. I think they respect that defensive line. I think they obviously, Brock not being maybe as mobile as he normally is, maybe that affects them. And I think they're with the pressure and also the run defense inside. If they can get past the D-line, I think they have a good shot. They feel they have a good shot at exploiting the defense beyond that.
These teams really don't have any rivalry. I mean, San Francisco owns it. They've won 5 straight. The Jaguars haven't beaten them in 20 years. But the matchup seemed to gain a little bit of spice late in the week with Robert Saleh, the 49ers defensive coordinator, talking about the Jaguars are elite at legally stealing signs. And then Kyle Shanahan was like, well, he's complimenting them. Probably shouldn't have said stealing signs, but we don't do that. We want to keep it within the fairness of the game. What did you make of the comments, and does that add any intrigue in your mind for this matchup?
Yeah, I think one, I'd say it probably was a slow news week, but I think, and 2, I'd say Saleh was weird because I don't know where that came from. It wasn't like asked about, hand signs or sign stealing. It was pretty much talking about just a general question about the Jags offense. He kind of went off on this wild tangent where he tried to say it was a compliment, but it was just a weird thing to bring up out of the blue. Maybe he had some issues last year when he was in the Jets. He lost to the Vikings. Vikings have some staff guys now on your staff, so maybe that was it. It was just a weird thing to bring up out of the blue. I think he kind of. And Kyle, I think he was trying to explain it like it was a compliment. It wasn't a big deal. And his last line, again, he had a huge smile on his face. He was clearly joking, but it's kind of lost again in the context, I think. So I don't think the Jags are taking it seriously. I mean, if they are, then it's good for them. But the Niners was just a weird thing, I think, and otherwise, still a couple of days where it kind of got blown up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And in terms of looking at the challenges that the 49ers defense will present for the Jaguars, obviously it starts with Fred Warner, particularly with Bosa being out. What's it been like covering Fred Warner, and what kind of a linebacker has he developed into?
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, you obviously need to cover. It's my first year covering the Niners. I was in the Raiders for a long time. So you hear about guys, you see the highlights, watch them that closely. But just watching him every day at training camp and at practice and preseason and now, he's a guy who's a constant force. I mean, obviously he's a great player as far as his range, attacking ability. He reads coverage as well. He reads offense as well. But he's also just a big-time leader. He's always getting everyone in the right frame of mind as far as not only energy-wise, but also scheme-wise and where they should be. And I think a great example is you see next to him this year, D. Winters has made a huge leap. Kind of another big-time missile kind of playmaker guy. So that's a large part of Fred's leadership and mentoring. So I think they now have two guys in that defense who really can make things happen.
The 49ers have been excellent on third down on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they're converting at 43.6%, and defensively only allowing 33.3%. It's rare to see a team that's plus 10, so to speak, when you look at the third down conversion rate. In your opinion, Vic, why have the 49ers been so effective on both sides of the ball, particularly dealing with the injuries that they've dealt with on that critical down?
Yeah, I think in offense you see just, we talked about Shanahan being a great, scheme guy, and he gets guys open. And I think that plus having the great weapon McCaffrey, who just comes out of the backfield and catches a 2-yard pass and runs it for 8 yards, is a pretty amazing weapon to have. So those two things in offense stand out to me. On defense, I would say just they played the last 2 weeks. They played the Saints and the Cardinals, who their offenses are not very good. So I think that's probably a big part of it. But also I think we mentioned Warner and Winters. I think their D-line, Bosa was having a great year before he got hurt. So probably some great playmakers on defense who step up on third down.
San Francisco having to play the Rams Thursday night, is that at all a factor in today's game, or the 49ers do this enough that it's not a big deal to them?
It shouldn't be. We never know. Guys in the back of their minds what they're thinking about, and I'm sure that's a huge matchup game, rivalry, all that stuff. But I think with the Bosa injuries and other injuries, they're just trying to get through this game today, and they think they have a chance to be 4-0 if they have guys step up. So I think there's kind of their minds are set on today's opponent as far as that goes.
Vic, we certainly appreciate your time. We'll get you out on this one. The Jaguars are fourth in the NFL in rushing at 141.7 yards a game. Houston last week did a really good job going a little heavier along the front. DeMeco Ryans obviously from was with the 49ers before becoming the head coach of the Houston Texans. And the Jaguars made an adjustment. They ran the ball better in the second half. But how big of a factor is that today for the 49ers to get a victory in slowing down that Jaguars ground game?
Yeah, it would be a big factor. And one of the guys we mentioned was Alfred Collins, a huge rookie who's definitely he's lost about 30 pounds since he got here, but he's still a huge guy. Definitely get more confidence as far as a run-stopping guy who can overpower guards and centers in the middle of the field. So if he keeps making a step up this week especially, it definitely will help them do the same thing as the Texans did last week.
Athletics NFL senior writer Vic Tafur, who covers the 49ers. Vic, thank you so much. Great insights. Again, you can follow Vic at Vic Tafur on social media. Vic, really appreciate your time, and hope you have a wonderful Sunday out there.
You too, boss.
All right. Appreciate Vic Tafur joining us. When we come back on the Terminix Kickoff Show, we're going to wrap things up, but we've got a lot to get to. Going to go back inside the Jaguars locker room. Want you to hear from right tackle Anton Harrison. Want you to hear from cornerback Tyson Campbell. We will also go back to Santa Clara to hear from Times Union sports columnist Ryan O'Halloran, get his final thoughts before this one gets set to kick off, and we will hand it over to the Publix Tailgate Show at the top of the hour. But lots to still get to. We'll give you our final thoughts and our picks as well. You're listening to the Terminix Kickoff Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Even more Jaguars. Listen to the Tommy Mac Podcast with Tom McManus and Campo and Joe with Dave Campo and Joe C. Find these original podcasts at 1010XL.com or on Twitter at 1010XL.
Carolina Jack's in historic Riverside has been named Best Burger in Jacksonville for 5 years in a row. They serve fresh, certified Angus beef smash burgers on locally baked buns with Florida fresh produce. Try favorites like the Riverside or a bacon cheddar. They have weekday lunch specials from 11 to 2 and open Sundays for pregame or postgame. Carolina Jack's is where it's at.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is the diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
You already know it's your main man, E to the T, here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich, the one-stop solution for any plumbing problem, residential or commercial. No matter how complex the work, Roland Reich quotes all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Whether your pipes are doing a water ballet or you need to hydrojet the whole system, always use Roland Reich Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com. Where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is the Terminix Kickoff Show, presented by American Electrical Contracting and Campione Law on 1010XL.
Welcome back to the Terminix Kickoff Show. Hayes Carline here with Dylan Denmark. We've got one more segment until we hand it over to the Publix Tailgate Show with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, and Mike Dempsey. That comes up at 1 o'clock, but we've got lots to get to. Let's talk about Anton Harrison, the right tackle. Going into, now he's into his third year. Promising rookie year, disappointing second year, and was challenged really from the outset of the offseason when Liam Cohen arrived to elevate his level of professionalism. And Anton Harrison has really done that, met the challenge, and is playing at a very high level as the Jaguars get ready to face the 49ers in Week 4. This was Liam Cohen talking about Anton Harrison's level of talent during Friday's press conference.
Very talented, very gifted. He has finished, I think, better. He has trained more. He has played for himself, his pride, but also playing for each other and playing for his teammates. And look, man, when he's playing and moving, and it's hard to get past him. I mean, he definitely has really good feet. He can anchor down. Speed to power, whatever those rushes are, I think he does a nice job of using his toolbox as well. It's hard to just say it's raw talent because, man, he's put a lot of time, I think, into working with those coaches, working with them, on his individual and getting the details of how he wants to set somebody each week and what maybe is going to be the counter set to those things. Been very pleased with Anton so far.
Absolutely. I had a chance to catch up with Anton Harrison earlier this week in the locker room, and here's that interview. All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguars right tackle Anton Harrison here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you too.
Man, you guys have to be having a lot of fun with the way you're running the ball and pass protecting. How do you feel like it's going so far offensively for you, Anton?
I feel like it's going good. Definitely got a lot of room to grow. We still learning each other, still trying to get perfect on the playbook, things like that. But you can see it. Like, we all love playing with each other. We all trying to strain. Jags, help Jags, things like that. It's going to just take us over the top.
How have you enjoyed playing for Liam Cohen so far?
I love it. He relates to us players a little bit, especially O-line, being used to being the O-line coach, things like that. He relates to us. He knows what we go through. He tried to help us out, but he's also hard on us, and he knows what we can be. So we just try to listen to him, let him lead the way.
He's really complimented you. He said, we challenged Anton in the offseason, and he's really responded. What was that process like for you, Anton?
It was something that I pretty much seen coming. I knew it was something that I challenged myself before they even got here. Like, I knew I had to work on things. I had a lot to prove and things like that. So when they came in and challenged me, it was like, I already know. Like, we was already on the same page. So it was kind of that type of understanding and just really just get to work and go on and do it.
What, from a technique standpoint, has jumped out to you and why you've been able to make a big jump so far this season so far?
For me personally, I'd say it's just really how I look at the run game and treat the run game, things like that. Just little things like your head placement or just like even my stance and things like that just help me in the run game. And it also goes to the play calling. We run plays that is good for us as an O-line, and it suits us, and we like to run and move, so that mid-zone and things like that also helps me.
Ezra's made a big jump. What have you seen out of Ezra Cleveland, throughout the entire offseason?
I've seen a lot. Me and Ezra, we trained together in Arizona, so I was with him the whole offseason, and he was the guy right beside me, like my older vet, just pushing me and things like that. So I seen it training with him. I knew what type of year he was going to have, and he hasn't changed one day. He's the same guy every day. He comes in, push his head down and work. So just seeing that just pushes me and pushes the whole line to keep going.
And what has Robert Hainsey brought to the room?
Oh, we love Rob, man. Rob, smart guy, plays hard. You can see it on the film. He's to the ball every play, no matter what. Like, he's picking somebody up around the ball, and we all try to be like Rob and do that. So we all still working on that, but Rob, he just set that example.
How much fun is it to have a Week 4 game like this? You guys are 2-1. They're 3-0. This is a game that the entire NFL is very interested in.
It's good. It's a big game because it's a nice game, but it's also big because, like you said, we're 2-1 and 3-0, and we want to keep winning. Winning is hard in the NFL, but if we do what we need to do, stay on the cues, lead the penalties here at home, we should be fine.
What stands out about the 49ers in terms of how they go about defending the run?
I'd say they're a physical team. They want to swarm the ball. They want to penetrate. D-line wants to penetrate. Obviously, they got that linebacker number 54. He's going to be all around the field, so we got to key in on him. But I feel like if we do what we need to do on offense and just trust our game, finish every play, have an effort, we'll be fine.
Yeah, Fred Warner, the guy you're referencing, what makes him such a special player?
He's very smart. Like, he can read the offense really well. He moves, he's fast. Like, he goes sideline to sideline. He's instinctive. Just think little things and just make him the player he is. So he's definitely one of them players that he's a star on the board. So we got a game plan for him.
You guys are 4th in the NFL in rushing. What's been the key component to having such success moving the ball on the ground?
O-line trusting the running backs, tight ends trusting the O-line, and running backs trusting all of us. It's really a trust thing with us. We know what we want to do. We know what to do. We're just going out there and doing it to 100%. Every run play, we want to be, as an O-line, we want to be most physical. So we going out there trying to be as physical as possible, trusting the running backs trusting us that we're going to make our blocks and they hit when it's open.
Anton Harrison, thank you so much for your time. Certainly best of luck to you Sunday in San Francisco.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate Anton's time earlier in the week. Let's switch it to the defensive side of the ball. Tyson Campbell really had an unbelievable last few days. Obviously, he gets burned by Nico Collins on the touchdown that gets Houston back in the game. Houston looks like they're getting ready to score the game winner. Tyson Campbell then forces a fumble off of Nico Collins. The Devin Lloyd recovers, helps the Jaguars get the win. Liam Cohen in the post-game locker room video that the Jaguars digital team released, Tyson Campbell was the first guy Liam Cohen pointed to as an example of, hey, stay in the game. Bad things are going to happen. We have to overcome that adversity. And Tyson Campbell was able to do that. Another fun element. So I'm interviewing Tyson Campbell Friday in the locker room.
All right. And
Tyson's sitting in his locker. And so my back is to the rest of the locker room. And all of a sudden I hear this commotion behind me. And that's not unusual. Commotion is common in the locker room. But as I'm hearing the voice, I'm like, man, that sounds like Liam. And so, and Tyson kind of peeks around to be like, is that Coach? And so I turn, and sure enough, it's Liam Cohen in the locker room firing up the DB group. It was really, really interesting to see. 'Cause the head coach you don't often see in the locker room, but Liam was in there and firing up the troops on Friday. So that was kind of a cool element here. This was my interview with Tyson Campbell from Friday. We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. That was quite a win last week. Tyson, how pleasing was it to make the big forced fumble there at the end?
I mean, it's a blessing, man. Just playing for such a resilient team and giving all the glory to God, allowed me to be in position to make that play and got us a divisional win.
How cool is it to see Devin on the other side of that play? He's somebody that's going, kind of went through a battle in training camp and is playing, really high-level football.
Devin's been balling, man. Just proud to see the plays he's been able to make, man. He's been a great player his whole career here. So I wasn't surprised at all that he was the one that picked it up. And I was trying to find a block to room for him to score. But I was glad he possessed the ball and got it back to the offense.
How cool was it to have Liam shout you out in the post-game victory locker room to be one of the first guys that Liam kind of pointed to?
Oh, man, it was great, man. Just to see, how much, my teammates were proud of me, what I'm saying? Just love playing for this team and, hopefully I can make more plays in the future.
How cool is it to see Liam walking through here and getting you guys fired up on a Friday?
That's the type of coach he is, man. All the way from the head coach to the DC to the trainers, everybody brings, that good energy, good positive energy that we need.
How much fun are you having? 2-1, and you guys have a lot of momentum going to play a 3-0 team, and it seems like everybody's really getting along and playing at a high level.
It's exciting. I'm having a lot of fun, taking it one day at a time, so we can keep stacking those wins and, go far in this season.
What stands out about San Francisco offensively in that Kyle Shanahan offensive system?
Just how they move a lot during the pre-snap and, try to mess up the defensive eyes and, and the players that they have that's capable of making the big plays and being in that system so long, everybody's very productive in that system. So,
Ricky Pearsall, young receiver for San Francisco, they've certainly dealt with some injuries to that position. What stands out when you watch Pearsall?
Him being able to make explosive catches, being able to be quick, and be able to be versatile, whether it be, give him reverses. And last year he threw a pass. He tried to throw a pass. So they use him a lot, kind of like how they were using Debo in a way. But good player.
In terms of Christian McCaffrey, obviously he gets the ball a number of different ways. How important is it to rally towards him and get a lot of guys heading his way when he gets the football?
It's very important. Christian McCaffrey's been a great player in this league for a long time, so he's definitely, somebody that you have to key on, during the game. So it's gonna be fun. Can't wait to see, us compete and us challenge them.
Tyson, what has Jordan Lewis brought to the defense?
Just brought leadership, knowledge, and just a new energy to the squad. So, blessed to have him. He's become one of my close friends, so definitely appreciate him coming on the team.
And Eric Murray has been really physical and seems like he's given you guys some high-level contributions. What have you thought about Eric's play?
He's been playing well, man. Just the knowledge he brings as well, being in the league, I want to say 9 years. Him being able to bring that experience to the group, definitely beneficial to us, and him being able to make plays week in and week out, that's been huge for us.
Dennis Gardeck plays with physicality. What have you seen out of Dennis and as a first-year Jaguar?
Just a lot of energy, physicality, and one heck of a motor. Whether it be on the defensive side or the special team side, he's always yearning to make the play.
Tyson Campbell, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in San Francisco.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Yeah, appreciate Tyson's time. Let's get it to Santa Clara.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
We are pleased to be joined with our good friend Ryan O'Halloran, the sports columnist at the Florida Times-Union. He is in Santa Clara getting ready to cover Jaguars at 49ers. Ryan, good morning. Big game here. What are your thoughts as we get closer to kickoff?
Well, my first thought is the United States Ryder Cup team would have been better off if Liam Cohen was their captain this weekend. But Liam's busy here in Santa Clara, where these players are going to feel like they're playing in air conditioning, overcast skies in the 60s. But I think the key for this Jaguar team is they're forcing a lot of turnovers, getting a lot of pressure on defense. It's time to see more from this offense. Yes, they're running it, but they're not making a ton of big plays down the field. They're not good on third down, and they're not good in the red zone. I think today against Brock Purdy, this Jaguar offense led by Trevor Lawrence has to be more efficient.
And Trevor talked about the patience that's required to go against this scheme. How do you expect Trevor to play today?
Well, if he plays that way, it's going to be methodical, because you look at the drives, scoring drives San Francisco's allowed this year, 8 and above, period. It doesn't include one with a penalty. So they want you to chip away and go 10, 12, 13 plays, counting on you to make a mistake and make a penalty. Well, judge on the first 3 games, that's probably playing into San Francisco's hands with the amount of offensive pre-snap penalties for the Jaguars. But with Lawrence is, okay, Brenton Strange, shallow crossers, Travis Hunter, quick slants, Brian Thomas, see if he can pick up where he ended the last game, take some shots down the field. I think it starts with the run game. No Bosa for San Francisco. See if you can get that run game going, which would set up a shot or 2 downfield.
Do you expect that the Jaguars, 4th in the NFL in rushing, will have a productive day on the ground against the 49ers?
I think so, because basically the Jaguars have been good as a running team for 2.5 games. They made their adjustments last week after 11 yards in the first half and got back going. So I think that's always going to be a priority for Liam Cohen when he calls the plays. And he admitted last week he got away from it too early. So even if there's not early success today, I expect him to stick with it.
a big element to this game that arose late Thursday night was this whole legal sign stealing thing that Robert Saleh, the 49ers defensive coordinator, and then the head coach, Kyle Shanahan, sort of acknowledged the two just ultimate backhanded compliments, basically saying Saleh was like, it's legal, but it's sign stealing. And then Shanahan basically saying, well, we don't do it. They're elite at it. He was giving him a compliment, but we don't do it because we want to operate in the regards of fair play. Does this add anything to this matchup, in your opinion?
It adds something for us.
Without a doubt.
Because this was a great story that, I think didn't get enough play. I mean, I know your radio station and our newspaper gave it a ton of play. I think from Saleh's standpoint is even if it was meant as a compliment, it was just clunky. Tell Liam Cohen that before the game during warmups, because I do think Liam Cohen looked at it as, okay, a little bit of a decorum was violated by going public with that and using the term sign stealing. There's a lot of other ways to phrase that. Hey, the Jaguars do a nice job changing their plays and decoding what we're doing. That's a compliment to them. Instead, Saleh went another direction. Kyle Shanahan had some fun with it on Friday, and I think that Kyle Shanahan, whose father was the mastermind for his nickname for a reason. He looked at every gamesmanship advantage he could take a hold of during a game. Mike Shanahan, I'm talking about. So it's something. If the Jaguars have a good day on offense, I'll be there to ask Liam Cohen, hey, how'd the decoding go?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I can't wait to watch that question get asked in the post game availability. In terms of looking at the 49ers offense against the Jaguars defense, what do you think is the best way for the Jaguars to generate pressure on Brock Purdy today?
Well, I'd be wary of setting a fifth and sixth guy, because that means you probably leave McCaffrey, out in space a little bit. They'd probably keep a tight end as the sixth protector. I mean, this offense, 90% goes through Christian McCaffrey as a runner, as a receiver. I mean, Ricky Pearsall didn't practice some of the week. He's supposed to play. Okay, he's your threat at receiver, but no Kittle, no Ayuk, and those are big weapons. They traded Deebo Samuel. So if you can keep an eye on McCaffrey, even at the expense of maybe giving Purdy more time, I think that's going to be key, because he's going to dump it off to McCaffrey in the flat. You got to be able to tackle him.
You referenced the Jaguars leading the NFL in takeaways earlier. It's amazing. They have 9. That's more than Washington, the Jets, Miami, Dallas, Cleveland, the Giants, Houston, Baltimore, and Green Bay combined. Just magnificent stuff from the Jaguar defense so far. Can it continue against a 49er squad that's as well coached as they are with a very cerebral quarterback in Brock Purdy?
Well, I think 3's asking for a lot on a regular basis, but I think it all depends. Is this Jaguar offense, does it give them a lead? And that was how they're getting takeaways, specifically against Carolina in week 1. Panthers had to become one-dimensional. But, I think the Jaguars defense should be going into every game. Okay, they are going to win the turnover differential. If Trevor Lawrence throws 1, the defense will force 2, and so on. So I think there should be a couple of chances because you don't know how really healthy Brock Purdy is after missing a couple of games. If he's forced out of the pocket, he may be throwing some balls up for grabs because he's just not healthy.
Yeah, great point. Ryan, get us out with this. Tell us what we can read on Jacksonville.com, both before this game kicks off in terms of pregame coverage, and then certainly your coverage from Santa Clara today.
Yeah, up online yesterday, Saturday, notes column led with Dennis Gardeck, who called himself a big white dude. That quote made the headline. And then I'll have four questions and 4 answers right after the game today, then column and full coverage later on tonight before we chase the team back to the East Coast with an overnight flight.
Sounds good. Who do you like in today's game?
I picked the 49ers just because they're at home. They are 3-0. They're getting their quarterback returning from injury. So I think it was something like 27-21, somewhere in that range.
All right, sounds good. Ryan O'Halloran, sports columnist for the Florida Times-Union. We really appreciate your time. Have a great game and be safe getting back to Jacksonville.
All right, thanks, Hayes.
All right, we certainly appreciate Ryan O'Halloran. Dylan, we're going to wrap this thing up in about 90 seconds. So the Steelers got a win over the Vikings in Dublin, correct? 24-21?
Yes.
Okay.
Turnover on downs. Vikings couldn't make it past the 30.
All right. Well, the 1 o'clock games are just a few minutes away from starting, but we'll get you out with our final thoughts and picks. Dylan, start us off. What kind of a game do you think we see, and who wins?
I see a game in the mid-20s from both teams. I think San Fran's just a little bit better today. I'm gonna pick a good team over another good team. If you continue to have drop passes and self-inflicting wounds like the offensive penalties, if that continues today, I don't see the Jags winning. I think Jags have a little bit of that today. So I like San Fran a little bit. I'll take a 24-21 San Francisco.
Okay, we like kind of the same type of game. I've got it Jaguars 27, 49ers 23. I do think the injuries on San Francisco's side, Kittle, Bosa, Ayuk, and I know they haven't had Ayuk, but not having Kittle, not having Bosa, and this being the first game without Nick Bosa, I do think the Jaguars offense will have a big day, and I think the Jaguars are going to be really motivated. I think they did take it personal, and I think Liam Cohen going through the locker room on Friday was absolutely a reflection of that. So I like the Jaguars to get it to 3-1 and snap their West Coast Blues and beat the 49ers for the first time in 20 years. That is going to do it for us on the Terminix Kickoff Show. We certainly appreciate you listening. Thanks to Frank Frangie for joining us. Thanks to the Athletics 49ers writer Vic Tafur. Thanks to Ryan O'Halloran. And we certainly appreciate you guys taking some time to spend your Sunday with us. For Dylan Denmark, I am Hayes Carline. Again, stay tuned. The Publix Tailgate Show is up next with Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, and Mike Dempsey. That's going to do it for us. Go Jaguars.